We're live. I'm going to call this meeting of the East Gloucester Veterans Memorial School Building Committee to order. It's March 25th, and this meeting is recorded by video and audio in accordance with the state open meeting law, consistent with the governor's orders suspending certain provisions of the open meeting law and banning gatherings of more than 10 people. This meeting will be conducted by remote participation. And Christopher, could we have a roll call for attendance?
Jonathan Pope.
Here.
Thank you. I didn't see Richard Sapphire. Don't think he was on. Greg Catamartori. I believe he was there. Kathy Clancy. Oh, sorry. Kathy Clancy.
Here.
Thank you. Donna Compton.
Here.
Thank you. John Dunn.
Here.
Thank you. Gary Frisch.
Here.
Thank you. Matt Fusco.
Here.
Yep. Thank you. Grant Harris.
Present.
Thank you. Joe Lucido. Don't think I saw him. Okay. Ben Lemus.
Here.
Thank you. Jameson Manning. Don't think I saw him. Amy Pasquarello.
Here.
Thank you. Adam Roselle.
Here.
Thank you. And Katie Eunice.
Here.
Thank you. All set.
And Rich Sapphire.
Oh, Rich came in.
Yeah.
Richard Sapphire.
Here.
Thank you. All set.
Okay, thank you very much. And we're joined by many other people, including Brian and Michelle and Tom and Mark and Bill and Brad and Brian and Christopher, all of which will introduce themselves as we go along. First order of business is the approval of last week's minutes. So approve the meeting minutes of March 18th, 2021. And are there any corrections or omissions?
I move that we approve the minutes from the meeting of March 18th, 2021.
Second.
Okay. Chris, could we have a roll call vote? You're muted, or I can't hear you. I don't know.
I'm sorry. Jonathan Pope.
Yes.
Thank you. Richard Sapphire.
Yes.
Thank you. Kathy Clancy.
Yes.
Thank you. Donna Compton.
Yes.
Thank you. John Dunn.
I was not present at the meeting.
Abstain. Okay. Thank you. Gary Frisch.
Yes.
Thank you. Matt Fusco.
Yes.
Thank you. Grant Harris.
Yes.
Thank you. Ben Lemus.
Yes.
Thank you. Amy Pasquarello.
Yes.
Thank you. Adam Roselle.
Yes.
Thank you. And Katie Eunice.
Yes.
Thank you. All set.
Okay, it passes 11 in favor and 1 abstention. And we'll move on to, there are, I believe, no invoices. Is that correct, Tom or Brad? Not at this time. There it says it right there. So we'll move on to our reports. We have an update, and then we will have to take a vote to authorize the OPM to submit the design development package to the MSBA on behalf of the district. But before we do that, we'll have an update of just what's in the design development package. So is that going to be Michelle?
I can start with that.
Okay.
So again, you were provided a pretty nice presentation from the designers at the last meeting. So you have a sense that the project is developing. The project is looking pretty cool. And as we reported, we're on track with the budget, which was, to me, great news because as I keep saying, that's not always the case. So I have great confidence in the team to deliver another successful project to the city. All right, so in an effort to get a sense of what's in the actual package, and again, as Michelle pointed out last time, this package is not as comprehensive and doesn't have as much stuff in it as the schematic design package. It focuses on the actual design, development, construction documents. There are two real content pieces to it. There's what the OPM has for their deliverables and what the designer has for their deliverables. So what we're going to share now is the table of contents to give you a sense of what's in there. And I'm looking up because I've got this displayed on a larger screen. So with my old man eyes, I can actually see it a little bit better. So there's in the table of contents, there's a cover letter that's prepared by the OPM that indicates that the package does meet the MSBA criteria for submission. There's an introduction that again gives a brief narrative of the project, and specific to the OPM, we comment on the submittal itself, its review and coordination. There's an updated project schedule. The schedule contains a large list of milestone dates primarily that are stipulated by the MSBA. And again, that schedule is tracking and showing the dates to which you've been hearing from the team in the past for starting up the early packages, early package 1, early package 2, the bidding of the trade bids and the rest of the item 1 work, etc., for later in this year. We have a whole bunch of estimating information in there, some of what we shared with you at the last meeting. And again, the bottom line there are 2 estimating worksheets that are MSBA mandated. One shows the estimate comparison from the schematic design estimate. It'll now show the design development reconciled estimate, and there's space for it to show the 60% CD, the 90% CD, and the dollar values that we actually arrive at when we execute the GMP with the construction manager. So all of that's in there. There's they call it an updated project budget, but in this case, there is the budget's the same. The budget that was approved at schematic design will be the budget that gets approved and included in the PFA, the project funding agreement, when that is hopefully soon released from MSBA. And again, the schedule. Okay, the scope of the early packages is there's a paragraph in there that talks about that, the abatement and demolition and site enabling associated with the first early package, and then the ground improvements, the concrete and the steel, and whatever else is associated with the second early package. Value engineering, we will continue to do responsible and appropriate value engineering. All too often, the term value engineering is kind of code for scope cutting to get back to the budget. And the good news here is that we didn't have to do that. So the full scope that was authorized in the approved schematic design is included in your design development package. So that was good. We had a whole variety of folks do a review of the package, that the pricing package that was provided to us by the designer. It was reviewed by probably half a dozen folks in my office, people that are on site, people that have quite a bit of experience in a wide range of areas. It was reviewed by a number of CBRE HERE engineers, folks that typically design schools or design buildings, for their input. It was reviewed by the construction manager, and it was reviewed as required by the commissioning agent that's paid for by MSBA. So that is really an overview of what's in the OPM deliverable portion of the DD submission, which will be made to MSBA. I try to be brief. I'm not always, short spoken. I speak like Michener writes. So again, Michelle, if you want to just sort of give me maybe
Sure.
a briefer overview of the designer part.
Sure. So the designer has a list of deliverables as well. These include an updated work plan, and that is how are we going to get the work done to meet the schedule that's outlined in the project schedule. And then we have a series of bases of design narratives that come from ourselves, our structural engineers, civil, mechanical, electrical, plumbing, landscape. And these are narratives that explain the basis of design. We have a building code analysis narrative that goes through and talks about all of the different applicable codes to this project, including egress and fire and life safety codes. We have the list of proprietary items. So this is the list that we've seen a couple of times now, and we reviewed, I think, a week or maybe 2 weeks ago. This is the list of items where there are less than 3 equal products. And so those become proprietary items. Some of those include items that were identified by the fire department as must have this product, or items defined by the technology department and other building pieces. We have our interior color theory, which we submitted as part of the SD, and it just gets updated as part of the DD piece. And this is, going back through how did we choose the colors for interior design? How did we choose where we're highlighting colors within spaces? And as you know, we've chosen colors that reflect the city of Gloucester, with the ocean and the sand and the sunsets. All of those colors are incorporated within the building. We have our US GBC registration. So that is for our LEED certification, and that was actually completed just a few days ago. So that has all been submitted as well. Yeah, thank you. There's an energy analysis report. So this talks about how energy efficient the building is, life cycle cost, and how much it will cost to actually operate the building. We do a security and visual assessment requirements. So this is where we talk about all the safety and security features that we've implemented into the building. Everything from our design around the main entrance, the vestibules, how people approach the building, how they get into the building, all the checkpoints that they must go through, how we the lock sets that we put on classrooms, the windows that we put around the building, and all of those other security features that we're meeting. And then there's a facilities maintenance requirements. So this is an overview of the requirements for how you will maintain the facility. And as you know, the exterior of the building is very low maintenance. And then inside the building, you have a lot of green products, and they will have ways of cleaning them with green materials and those kinds of things. So this is an update to how you will take care of the building going forward. And then we have a quality control narrative. And what this does is explains to you, the public, as well as the MSBA, how we will control the products that we put out for the bid documents, the process that we go through, how we coordinate with our consultants, how we detect where we might have problems through BIM management and clash detection. Then we move into that space summary that you've seen this at each one of our deliverables. This is that educational program that we put together way back in the beginning that said we need this space, this number of spaces, this size. And we have that whole space summary, which actually determines how large your building is. We have a narrative that tells about any changes that we made to any of the spaces between schematic design and the delivery of this design development piece. And we spoke about those a little bit last time as well. This was, the changes to the back of house spaces and the rearrangement of the kitchen area and the music room. So those are places where you actually write about what changed between SD and DD. And then we have our DESI letter, and that is the letter that was sent to us back at Schematic Design to say that they had reviewed our documents and agree with our special education delivery methods. We have a few project approvals, so that is the documents that we go through that show that the property title and delivery methods and all the approvals that the school building committee has approved us to continue to do the project. The designer's cost estimate is included in our section. And then we have the actual drawings and documents and specifications, and those get attached to this binder as an attachment. And that is the actual drawings where we shared a few of those with you last time. So you can see the level of detail that we are working towards. And then there's a few appendices, which is our response to the schematic design that we had submitted a few months ago based on questions that the MSBA had. And then some copies of documents that have been submitted or filed since our last submission to the MSBA. That wraps it up for us.
Exactly.
Any
So
questions?
there are a lot of documents in there. I think, I don't know what the number is right now, but it might be 1,000 to 2,000 pages. So a lot
I
of
do want
things.
to say that between Durham Whittier and CBRE hearing, we've been working together to compile this document. So it is a very thorough document for design development.
Great.
And again, the main feature here is that we're seeking a motion for the school building committee to authorize and approve the owner's project manager to submit the design development package to the MSBA for their review.
We understand that. Are there any questions? Does anybody have any questions before we make a motion and vote? I can't necessarily see you all. So
Kathy's hands up.
just speak up.
Jonathan, is Kathy. What usually, so we'll submit this and they do a thorough review. Do they then send back questions to?
Yes. Yes, and in fact, on the schedule, per the MSBA, requirements, they have a 21-day period to review the document. They will get us the responses. They typically take the vast majority of that 21 days. And then we have 14 days to respond. And again, I've done this a number of times, and in general, I've not seen a lot of occasions where there were significant comments or material comments coming back from MSBA. And from what I've seen of this team and this package, I'm expecting, maybe some minor comments, but I certainly don't anticipate anything material.
Great, thank you.
Any other questions? And like I say, I can't see everybody, so just speak up. Okay, hearing and seeing none, we will make a motion. And this has got to be, we are going to make a motion to authorize the OPM to submit the design development package to the MSBA on our behalf. And I so move.
Second,
Okay. Is there any discussion?
Who seconded? Was that Kathy?
Kathy, yes.
Yes, thank you.
I'll just throw in what as folks have said, man, this is good. This is great stuff, great work, and we're moving ahead. And that's on a project that's this important in this city. That's another feather in our cap. So I'm really pleased that we're here and we're making this vote, and the design and the construction manager work has been really smooth so far, and it's a good team. That's all I got to say.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Will we have you next up then for any updates?
Yeah, this is Gary. I just want to say that I really like the design, the colors really look sharp against the red brick. I think you guys did a great job and color selection and the waves. It just really flows nice.
Thank you.
Okay, and if any other discussion, I would just echo it all. We're so happy. I am so happy to be where we are today. This building is coming together. It's spring. By next fall, we'll be starting to build a new school for 440 kids in Gloucester who are currently housed in substandard schooling, build school buildings, and it's a great thing for the kids, and that's why we're doing it, and that's why we're here. So without further comment, Chris, could we have a roll call vote?
Absolutely. Jonathan Pope,
Yes.
thank you. Richard Sapphire,
Yes.
thank you. Kathy Clancy,
Happy to vote yes.
thank you. Donna Compton,
Yes.
thank you. John Dunn.
Can I say yes twice?
Officially, I can only count you once.
Okay, well, all right, then yes.
I like the effort. Gary Frisch,
Enthusiastic, yes.
thank you. Matt Fusco,
Gary just stole enthusiastic yes from me, but I'll just say yes.
thank you. Grant Harris.
I'll say yes and a woot.
Ben Lemus,
Yes, yes, please.
thank you. Amy Pasquarello,
Absolutely, yes.
thank you. Adam Roselle,
It's an easy yes.
thank you. And Katie Eunice.
I'll go on the record as a heck yes.
Okay,
All right, it passes unanimously. So that will be submitted, the beginning of the week?
March 30th.
March 30th. And as you said, there's 21 days and 14 days to talk about it. But in the meantime, we'll be moving forward to
Yeah, full speed
further,
ahead.
with full speed ahead, right?
Yes.
For further drawings, further specifications, and everything that's involved in getting this project rolling and moving. I would say that I remind everybody that on a week from today, there is a joint city council school committee meeting, at which point we will have the presentation from Doran Whittier, as well as input from hopefully different agencies within the city, and we will it will be just moving forward, and it'll be public. We won't be getting public input, but we'll be getting it will be broadcast publicly. So you're all invited. Hope you all attend. Is there anything else that we need to talk about before we go?
No, we're good, and thank you for the vote. Much appreciated by your consulting team.
Well, we appreciate all the hard work that everybody's been doing. I know we've been playing catch up for quite a while, and it seems like we're back on track, or close to it. So.
Just on communications update, as I mentioned last week, we have our team is really working on keeping the project website up to date. We already have a summary of last week's meeting up there with the meeting recording, and we'll shortly have a summary of this meeting up there too, although it'll be pretty brief, obviously. But definitely have a good working team on making sure the new website is updated and folks can find information there in a very easily. On our key documents page, we have a folder that says MSBA submissions, which is easy to get to, and we'll be adding, when it's all complete, we'll be adding the documents from the DD submission in a week, a week or so after it's submitted. So making good progress with that. And thanks to the team on that. Really appreciate it.
Great. Okay, anything else? Okay, do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved?
Seconded?
There you go. Chris, could we have a roll call vote?
Just typing in.
Okay,
I'm sorry. Jonathan Pope.
yes.
Thank you. Richard Sapphire.
Yes.
Thank you. Kathy Clancy.
Yes.
Thank you. Donna Compton.
Yes.
Thank you. John Dunn.
Yes.
Thank you. Terry Frisch.
Yes.
Thank you. Matt Fusco.
Yes.
Thank you. Grant Harris.
Yes.
Thank you. Ben Lummis.
Yes.
Thank you. Amy Pasquarello.
Yes.
Thank you. Adam Roselle.
Yes.
Thank you. And Katie Eunice.
Yes.
Thank you.
Passes unanimously. This meeting is adjourned, and thank you all very much. And we'll see you, I guess, in 2 weeks, right?
April 8th.